Dear plus 1 humanities students, it's a revision video of 11 chapters of history. This video is based on the notes of Thangamani teacher, HSST history at GHSS Tayyanur, Kasaragod district. If you useful this video, please subscribe our channel Back to History and like, share and comment the video. I gave the link of Malayalam revision video in the description. You also use it. Wish you all the best. Let's start our class. Theme 1. From the beginning of time. The story of human evolution. Primates. Primates are a subgroup of mammals. They include monkeys, apes, and humans. Features. They have body hair, long gestation period following birth, mammary glands, different types of teeth, the ability to maintain a constant body temperature. Second question. Hominoids. Hominoids are the subgroup of primates. They do not have a tail. They emerged about 24 million years ago. They emerged about 24 million years ago. They have a longer period of infant development. They have a larger body, small brain size, quadrupeds. They have no upright posture. Question number 3. Hominids. Hominids are the subgroup of hominoids. They emerged around 5.6 million years ago. Larger brain size than hominoids. Bipedal locomotion. They have upright posture. Next question. Difference between hominoids and hominids. Hominoids. Subgroup of primates. Smaller brain. Quadrupeds. No upright posture. No specialization of hands. Hominids. Subgroup of hominoids. Larger brain. Bipeds. Upright posture, specialization of the hand. Hominoids belong to a family known as Hominidae. Hominids are divided into two, Australopithecus and Homo. Australopithecus. The name Australopithecus is derived from Latin word austral, meaning southern, and a Greek word pithecus, meaning ape. The word Australopithecus meaning southern ape. They originated around 5.6 million years ago. Its fossils were first discovered from Olduvai Gorge in Africa. They lived in forest. They have a small brain size, larger teeth. They have heavier jaws. They were considered as the first stone tool makers. Homo. Homo is a Latin word meaning man. They originated around 2.5 million years ago. They have jaws with just outside protrusion. They have larger brain than Australopithecus. They have smaller teeth. They lived in grasslands. Difference between Australopithecus and Homo. Australopithecus means southern ape. Smaller brain, heavier jaw, large teeth, lived in forest. Homo means man, larger brain, smaller jaw, smaller teeth, lived in grassland. Types of Homo. Homo habilis. Features: tool maker. Period 2.2 million years ago. Their fossils found in Omo and Olduvai Gorge. Homo erectus. Feature: upright man. Period 1.2 million years ago. Fossils found in Africa and Asia. Homo sapiens. Features: wise man or thinking man. Period 8 lakh years ago. Fossils found in Africa, Asia and Europe. Modern human beings. There are two main theories for the origin of modern humans. First one, regional continuity model and replacement model. Regional continuity model theory. As per the theory, modern humans, they originated in different parts of the world. There are some difference in the physical features of modern humans, that is color, size, forms, etc. There is a regional difference in the features of modern humans. Next one, replacement model or single regional origin. As per the theory, modern humans, they originated in a single region, that is Africa. Genetic and anatomical homogeneity support this view. Similarities is due to origin from a single region. Early humans, the ways of obtaining food. Early humans obtained food through gathering, hunting, scavenging, and fishing. Gathering. The early humans collected plant food such as seeds, nuts, berries, fruits, and tubers. Scavenging. The early human collected food through scavenging. They scavenged or foraged for meat of animals that had died or had killed by other predators. Small mammals such as rodents, birds, reptiles, and even insects were eaten by early humans. Hunting. Hunting probably began by about 5 lakh years ago. We get the evidence of hunting from Bosgrove in England and Schöningen in Germany. Sites near rivers have been chosen by them for planned hunting. Herds of migratory animals crossed the river during spring and autumn seasons. People knew the movement of these animals and killed them. Fishing. Fishing was also important means of livelihood. It is evident from the discovery of fish bones at different sites. Early humans from trees to cave and open air. Homo habilis spent most of their time on trees. Gradually, people used caves and open air for dwelling. Evidence of the shelter was found in the Lazarette cave in France. Inside the shelter, there were two heads. Besides, there was an evidence of different food items like fruits, vegetables, seeds, nuts, and fish. Shelters with roofs of wood and grasses have been found at Terra Amata in France. Pieces of baked clay and burned bone along with the tools were discovered from the South Africa. These indicate the use of fire. Fire had several advantages. Fire provided warmth and light inside the cave. It was used for cooking. It was used for making tools. It was used to harden woods. It was used to scare away dangerous animals. Theme 2: Writing and City Life, Ancient Mesopotamia. Mesopotamia and its geography. The word Mesopotamia is derived from two Greek words, Mesos and Potamus. Mesos meaning middle and Potamus meaning river. So Mesopotamia means the land between two rivers, Euphrates and Tigris. Now Mesopotamia is a part of Iraq. Mesopotamia is a land of diversities. North. In the north, there is a stretch of upland called steppe. Cattle rearing was their main occupation. Northeast. In the northeast lies plains and mountain ranges. It is blessed with streams and wildflowers. There is enough rainfall to grow crops. So agriculture was their main occupation. Agriculture began between 7000 and 6000 BCE. East, the tributaries of Tigris flow through the east. They provide means of communication into the mountains of Iran. Fishing was their main occupation. South. The south is a desert. The Tigris and Euphrates carries silt and deposit here. Gradually, agriculture developed here. The first cities and writing emerged here. The development of writing. Writing began in Mesopotamia about 3200 BCE. They used clay tablets for writing. It contains pictures like signs and numbers. The scribe carefully smoothed its surface. He would press wedge-shaped signs on wet clay with the sharp end of a reed. Written tablets were dried hard in the sun. Once it dries, they could not write again. Each transaction had separated written tablets. Cuneiform. The letters used in the tablets were known as cuneiform and language was Sumerian. The word cuneiform is derived from two Latin words, cunus and forma. Cunus means wedge and forma means shape. So, cuneiform means wedge-shaped. Writing was used for keeping records, making dictionaries, land transactions, narrating the deeds of kings, orders of kings, sending messages. System of writing. Cuneiform sign was not a single consonant or vowel, but it was stylable like. So Mesopotamian script had to know hundreds of signs. He had to handle a wet tablets and get it written before it dried. So writing was skilled craft. Literacy. King and very few Mesopotamians would read and write. There were hundreds of signs to learn and many of these were complex. Uses of writing. There is a connection between city life, trading and writing. It is shown in an epic poem in Sumerian which is written about Enmerkar, ruler of Uruk. Uruk was a city in Mesopotamia known as the city. Trade was organized in Sumer by Enmerkar. In the early days, trade was not known. Enmerkar wanted precious stones for the beautification of a city temple. He sent his messenger to a distant land called Aratta, but the chief of Aratta was not ready to give it. The Enmerkar wrote a message in a clay tablet and sent it to Aratta. This poem tells us that writing was a means of communication. Legacy of writing. The Mesopotamians made a great contribution in the field of science. The greatest legacy of Mesopotamians was in the field of calendar making and mathematics. Mesopotamians invented a calendar. It was a lunar calendar. They divided the year into 12 months according to the revolution of the moon and moon around the earth. They also divided the month into 4 weeks. They divided a day into 24 hours. They divided hour into 60 minutes. In mathematics, they invented table of multiplication, division, square, square root, and compound interest. A trading pastoral town in pastoral zone. Life in the city of Mari. Mari was a royal city in Mesopotamia. It was located on the upstream of Euphrates River. Agriculture and cattle rearing was the main occupation. Farmers and pastoralists lived there. They exchanged goods. Herds exchanged animals, cheese, and leathers in return for metal, tools, etc. with farmers. Nomadic people filtered into this agriculture land. The king of Mari was Amorites. They built a temple at Mari for Dagon, god of steppe. Wood, copper, wine, tin, oil, etc. were carried in boats along the Euphrates between the south and Turkey, Lebanon and Syria. Boats carrying grinding stones, wood, wine, and oil jars would stop at Mari on their way to the southern cities. Officers of this town would inspect the cargo and levy a tax. 1/10 of the value of the goods was collected as tax. Theme 3. An empire across 3 continents. Roman Empire. It was the ancient Roman Empire spread across 3 continents: Asia, Africa, and Europe. Roman Empire developed around Rome in Italy. Rome is situated on the bank of river Tiber. Mediterranean Sea was called the heart of Roman Empire. Mediterranean Sea separated Africa and Europe. The sea that stretches from Spain in the west to Syria in the east. The northern frontier of Roman Empire was Rhine and Danube rivers. The southern frontier was the Sahara Desert. It was the geography of Rome. Social hierarchies. There was many social groups in Roman Empire. Tacitus, a Roman historian, classified the social groups in Rome as follows. First one, senators. They were the most powerful and wealthy section of the society. They were landlords, equites or knights. They were the second powerful and wealthiest section of society. They were also landlords. Senators and knights merged into aristocracy. Third one, middle class. This consisted of persons in the bureaucracy, army, merchants and farmers. Fourth one, humiliores. They consisted rural labor force, workers in industry and mines, artisans and casual laborers. Fifth one, slaves. They were the lowest section of the society. Late Roman Empire or late antiquity. The period from 4th century to 7th century was called late antiquity. Diocletian. He cut down the length of the vast Roman Empire by giving up the territories with the title economic advantage. He also fortified the frontiers and reorganized provincial boundaries. He granted autonomy to the military commanders. Constantine. He declared Christianity as the official religion of the state. He introduced 3 reforms. First one, new monetary system. He introduced a new coin called solidus. It was made of 4.5 grams of pure gold. Second one, new capital. He created a second capital at Constantinople. The new capital was surrounded to 3 sides by the sea. He also formed a new senate for the capital. The third reforms introduced by Constantine in the field of economy, that's the economic reforms. Monetary stability stimulated economic growth. Oil presses, glass factories were established. New technologies like screw presses and water mills were also introduced. Theme 4. The Central Islamic Lands. Caliphate. Muhammad Nabi died in 632 at Medina. He was the last prophet. After his death, the political power was transferred to Ummah, single community of believers. The leader of community became the deputy of the prophet. Khalifa was the spiritual leader of the Muslims and head of the Arab state. The first Khalifa was Abu Bakr. The second Khalifa was Umar. The third Khalifa was Usman. The fourth Khalifa was Ali. During the time of Ali, Muslims were divided into 2 groups, Shias and Sunnis. Muhammad's wife Aisha declared war against Ali. Ali defeated them in the Battle of Camel. Ali's second battle was against Muawiyah, a relative of Uthman and the governor of Syria. This battle was known as the Battle of Siffin. In this battle, Muawiyah defeated Ali and founded Umayyad dynasty. Umayyad dynasty. Muawiyah, the 5th Khalifa, was the founder of the Umayyad dynasty. He moved his capital to Damascus. Contribution of Abdul Malik. One of the famous Umayyad rule was Abdul Malik. He adopted Arabic as the language of administration. He introduced Islamic coinage. He built the Dome of Rock in Jerusalem. Arabic inscriptions were used in the gold dinar and silver dirham. The Abbasid Revolution. In 7050, a well-organized movement called Dawa defeated the Umayyads and placed Abbasids into the power. Abbasids were a wealthy family of Mecca. Abbasid revolution broke out in Khorasan, eastern Iran. Khorasan had a mixed Arab-Iranian population. The Arab soldiers were mostly from Iraq. The Arab civilians, like Khorasan, hated the Umayyad ruler. The Umayyad had promised the tax concession and other privileges which were never fulfilled. The Iranian Muslims also opposed to Umayyad rule. They were humiliated by the race-conscious Arabs. So all of them wanted to defeat Umayyads. The Abbasids were the descendants of Abbas, the Prophet's uncle. They exploited this political situation and declared war against Umayyads. The Abbasid army was led by the Iranian slave Abu Muslim. He defeated the last Umayyad Khalifa Marwan in the battle in the river Sab. Thus, the Abbasids came into power. Under Abbasid rule, the Arab influence declined and Iranian influence increased. The army and bureaucracy were organized on the tribal basis. The Abbasids transferred their capital to Baghdad. Learning and literature. The religious and social experiences of the Muslims increased through contact with other people. Law. Religious scholars were known as ulamas. Some ulamas prepared a body of laws called Sharia. The jurists also used reasoning in framing Islamic law. This led to the formation of four schools of thought. They are Maliki, Hanafi, Shafi, Hanbali. Each of them was named after a leading jurist. Cases related to security were sent to the judge or Qazi. Qazi was appointed by the state. So he acted according to the interest of the state, not by Sharia. Sufism. Sufism was a reform movement in Islam. Sufis renounced the worldly life and pleasure. They emphasized on prayer and love. Sufis were pantheist. Pantheism is the idea of oneness of God. It implies that the human soul must be united with its maker. The idea was preached by the woman saint Rabia of Basra and an Iranian Sufi, Bayazid Bistami. Sufism is open to all irrespective of religion, status and gender. Philosophy and science. The work of Aristotle, the element of Euclid and Ptolemy's Almagest were influenced Arab scholars. Indian works on astronomy, mathematics and medicines were also translated into Arabic. Abu Nawas, a Persian poet, composed classical poetry on new themes such as wine and male love. Ibn Sina, a doctor and a philosopher, wrote Canon of Medicine. It was a list of 760 medicines. It points out the importance of dialects and the influence of climate and environment on health and contagious nature of some diseases. He was known as Avicenna in Europe. Language and literature. The most popular poetic composition was odes. Dudagi was considered as the father of New Persian poetry. It included short lyrical poems, that's the ghazal, and rubai. Rubai is a 4-line stanza. The rubai reached its zenith in the hands of Umar Khayyam. He was a poet, astronomer, and mathematician. Firdausi, court poet of Mahmud Ghazni, wrote Shahnama, the Book of Kings. Ibn Nathim was a bookseller in Baghdad. One of his oldest collections was an animal story called Khalila Wathima. It is the Arabic translation of Panchatantra. The 1001 Night is another collection of story told by Shahrazad to her husband night after night. Genealogy of the nobles of Baladuri and History of Prophets and Kings of Tabari were two major historical works of his period. Mukhadasis, the best divisions, is a work on geography. Masudi's work on geography and history was Golden Meadows. Al-Biruni's famous work, History of India, Tahqiq Ma. Art and architecture. Mosque had distinct architectural forms. Their roofs were supported by pillars. It had an open courtyard where a fountain or pond was placed. It led to a hall. There were two features inside the hall, a niche and a pulpit. Niche in the wall indicates the position to Mecca. The pulpit was used to deliver sermons during the prayers. A minaret was attached to the hall. The Umayyads built desert palaces in oases. The Abbasids built a new imperial city, Samarra. The religious art promoted calligraphy and arabesque. Calligraphy. It is the art of beautiful writing. Small and big inscriptions were used to decorate architecture. Arabesque. It is a kind of painting with geometric and vegetable designs. Theme 5. Nomadic Empire. Mongols were the nomadic group of Mongolia. They were united by Genghis Khan. The original name of Genghis Khan was Temujin. His position was recognized at an assembly of Mongol chieftains called Kuriltai. There he was proclaimed the great Khan of the Mongols. Khan means leader or ruler. He was also granted titles like the Oceanic Khan, Genghis Khan, or Universal Ruler. Social and political and military organization. The military organization was called Tama. All the able-bodied adult males of the Mongol tribes wore arms. They constituted the armed forces when the occasion demanded. The Mongol army was relatively small and homogeneous. Genghis Khan organized his army according to the decimal system, that is, the division of 10, 100,000, 10,000 soldiers. He divided the old tribal groups and distributed their members into new military groups. No one can move from one group to another. If anyone can try to move to another group without permission, received harsh punishments. The new military contingents were required to serve under his four sons, Joji, Chageta, Okodi, and Toleyo. Besides, they had to serve under a military captain called Noyan. Genghis Khan had a band of followers. They served him loyally for many years in all hardships. Some of them were honored as a blood brother or anda. Free men of humbler position were honored as bondmen or naukar. Genghis Khan assigned the responsibility of governing the newly conquered territories to his four sons. These territories were called Ulas. They were four Ulas: Joji, Russian steppes; Chageta, Transoxian steppes; Oghodi, Genghis Khan's successor; Toleyo, ancestor land. Courier system or YAM. One of the important contributions of Genghis Khan was the creation of courier system. It was known as YAM. It connected the distant areas of the empire. Horse riders were placed at regular distance. To maintain the system, Mongols contributed 1/10 of their head, either horse or livestock, as taxes. This was called Kupkar tax. Legal code or Yasa. Genghis Khan created a code of law. In 1206, Genghis Khan proclaimed his law at the assembly of chieftains called Kurultai. His law was called Yasa. The term Yasa means law or order. It consisted of orders concerned with the administrative regulations, the organization of the hunt, the army, and the postal system. Theme 6. The Three Orders. The Three Orders. French priests believed that the people were members of one of the three orders. The three orders of the society were the following: the clergy, second one nobility, third one peasantry. The first order, clergy. The clergy was the first order. The Catholic Church had its own laws. It had its own lands. They had the right to collect taxes. Church collected a tax from the peasant called tithe. Peasant called tithe. 1/10 of the total produce was collected as tax. Pope was the head of the church. He lived in Rome. Most of the villages had their own church. Everyone could not become a priest. Sirs, handicapped, and women were not allowed. Priests could not marry. They lived in palaces, monks, and monasteries. Some devotees Christians established monasteries. They led isolated life. They give importance to simple living and meditation. The members of the monasteries were called monks. Abbot was their head. Monasticism was originated in Egypt. Monasticism in Italy was founded by Saint Benedict. He set up a monastery at Monte Cassino. Monasticism in France was founded by William I. He set up a monastery at Cluny in Burgundy. Monasteries were open to monk and woman nuns. Like priests, monks and nuns did not marry. Monasteries became the center of learning, literature, and art. The second order, nobility. The nobles belonged to the second order. They had control over land. This control was the result of practice called vassalage. Under feudalism, king was the owner of the land. King allotted land to his nobles. Thus, the nobles became big landlords. They also became the vassals of the king. The nobles allotted their lands to the tenants or peasants. Thus, the farmers became the vassals of the lords. At the time of transfer of land, there was some rituals. The vassals had taken the oath on the Bible in a church. At this ceremony, the vassals received a written document, a clod of earth, as a symbol of land from their master. Nobles maintained army. They had their own court. They could even mint money. Manorial estate. The house of the nobles were called manors. They controlled villages where peasants live. A small manorial estate could contain a dozen families. Larger had 50 or 60 families. Manorial estate had everything needed for daily life. Grain was grown in the fields. Blacksmith and carpenters maintained weapons. Some masons looked after their buildings. Women wove fabrics. Children worked in the oil presses. There was a church on the estate and a castle for defense. However, manor could not complete self-sufficient. Salt, milestones, and metal were obtained from outside. Knights. Knights were warriors. They were well versed in horse riding. The Lord gave the knights a piece of land called fief. A fief had an area between 1,000 and 2,000 acres. It included a house, a church, a watermill, a wine press. Knights were warriors. They were well versed in horse riding. The Lord gave the knights a piece of land called fief. A fief had an area between 1,000 and 2,000 acres. It included a house, a church, a watermill, and a wine press. The fief land was cultivated by peasants. A knight paid a regular fee to his lord. The third order, peasants. Peasants belonged to the third order. Cultivators were of two kinds. First one, free peasants. Second one, unfree peasants or serfs. Free peasants. The free peasants held their farms. as tenants of the Lord. They had to render military service at least 40 days every year. They had to do unpaid labor for 3 days of the week in Lord's estate. The digging of ditches, gathering firewood, building fences, and repairing roads and buildings were done by the free peasants. The king imposed a direct tax on peasant called tithe. The second one, unfree peasants or serfs. They had no lands. They cultivated the land of the lords. They had to give much of the produce from his land to the Lord. They received no wages. They could not leave the estate without the permission of the Lord. Serfs should use only their Lord's mill to grind their flour. They should use Lord's oven to bake their bread. They should use Lord's wine press for making wine. The Lord decided whom a serf should marry. Chapter 7, Changing Cultural Traditions. Italian Cities. After the decline of Roman Empire, the Italian cities fell into ruins. But with the expansion of feudalism, Italian cities also began to revive. Important among them were Florence, Venice, and Genoa. The administration of these were under merchants and bankers. Italian universities and humanism. In Europe, every universities were established in Italy. The universities like Padua and Bologna became the centers of legal study. There was a growing demand for lawyers because of increasing trade, so law became a popular subject of study. The term humanist was used to describe masters who taught grammar, rhetoric, poetry, history, and philosophy. The term humanities were derived from the Latin word humanitas. The term humanitas was used many centuries ago by Roman lawyers and essayist Cicero. He used this term to mean culture. These ideas influenced the universities in Florence. Florence became the center of trade and education. Famous writer Dante Alighieri and a painter Giotto lived there. Dante wrote Divine Comedy. The term Renaissance man is used to describe a person with many interests and skills. Petrarch is considered as the father of humanism. Renaissance in art and realism. The most important feature of Renaissance art was realism. The artist tried to portray human body with accuracy. Donatello was a famous sculptor in Florence. Artists went to laboratories of medical schools to study bone structures. Andreas Vesalius, a Belgian professor of medicine at the University of Padua, was the first to dissect the human body. Thus, anatomy, geometry, physics, and strong sense of beauty gave a new quality to Italian art. It was called realism. Renaissance in architecture. People patronized architecture. There were some individuals who were skilled in painting, sculpture, and architecture. The best example is Michelangelo. He was immortalized by the paintings in the ceilings of Sistine Chapel at Vatican. His sculpture, the Pietà, was famous. His famous work was Last Judgment. Leonardo da Vinci was a famous painter. His masterpiece in the paintings were Mona Lisa and the Last Supper. Filippo Brunelleschi was another famous architect. He designed the Duomo in Florence. Theme 8: Confrontation of Cultures. The state system of Central and South America. The remarkable culture existed in Central and South America were Aztecs, Mayans, and Incas. Aztecs in Mexico. The centers of Aztec civilization was the Valley of Mexico. Mexico is named after their god Mezquitl. Aztec society was hierarchical and dominated by the nobility. The king was chosen from the nobility. The king was considered as the representative of sun on earth. Various priests, artisans, etc. were the represented sections of society. As land was limited, they undertook reclamations. They built an artificial island called Chinabas in Lake Mexico by weaving huge reed mats and covering them with mud and plants. They also constructed canals here. They built their capital city of Tenochtitlan in 1325. The rural people produced corns, beans, pumpkin, potatoes, etc. Land was owned by clans, not by individuals. The slavery system was also existed. The poor would often sell their children as slaves. Education. The Aztec gave great importance to education. Aztec ensured all children went to school. There were two types of educational institutions. Calmecac. Children of the nobility attended Calmecac. They were trained to become military and religious leaders. Topocalli. All other children went into the Topocalli. They learned history, myth, religion, and ceremonial songs. Boys received military training as well as training in agriculture and the trades. Girls were trained in domestic skills. Mayans of Mexico. The Mayan culture developed in Mexico in Central America. Corn cultivation provided the basis of their culture. Several religious ceremonies were based on agriculture. Agriculture generated surplus production. It enabled the ruling classes to invest in agriculture. The Mayans developed a pictographic writing system. Incas of Peru. Incas of Peru belonged to the family called Quechua. Their language was also Quechua. The term Inca means ruler or lord. The city of Cusco was their capital. It was established by the first Inca ruler Manco Capac. Each tribe was administered by a council of elders. The Incas were great builders. They built roads, forts, temples, and palaces. Their forts were built of stone slabs. These stone slabs were so perfectly cut that they did not require mortar. They used labor forces to carve and move stones from nearby quarries. The blocks were shaped by masons using the method called flaking. Many stones weighed more than 100 metric tons. The basis of Inca civilization was agriculture. There was their land was not fertile, so they terraced hillsides and practiced agriculture. They also developed means of irrigation. They cultivated corn and potatoes. Another important occupation was cattle rearing. They domesticated llamas, a kind of goat, for food and labor. They were engaged in weaving and poetry making. They did not develop a system of writing. They developed accounting system. Cube or code were used for mathematical calculation. Theme 9: Industrial Revolution. Why did Industrial Revolution start in Britain? The Industrial Revolution first started in Britain. Causes are following. First one, political stability. England, Wales, and Scotland were unified under a monarchy, so England was politically stable. The kingdom had common laws and a single currency. The second cause, widespread use of money. A large section of the people received their income in the form of wages and salaries rather than goods. So, people could spend their earnings to buy and goods they liked. This led to the expansion of the market. The third cause, impact of agriculture revolution. The bigger landlords had brought up small farmers near their properties and enclosed it. Thus, they create large estate and increase food production. The landless farmers went to nearby towns by searching jobs. The agriculture revolution also promoted industrialization by supplying raw material, laborers, and capital. The fourth cause, cities, trade, and finance. People witnessed the growth of many towns. The largest of them was London. London became the center of trade network. The center of the country's financial system was the Bank of England, which founded in 1694. The geographical location of the country. Sixth one, the population growth. Seventh one, availability of raw material. 8, colonies. 9, growing markets. 10th, a good transport network. 11th cause, the migration of people from the villages to towns. Iron and coal. Coal and iron were the essential materials for the production. They were available in England. Iron is made from ore as pure liquid metal by a process called smelting. Charcoal was used for melting. This had problems. Charcoal had very fragile, so it was difficult to transport. Charcoal had impurities, therefore it produced poor quality iron. Charcoal could not generate high temperature. This problem was solved by Darby family. Abraham Darby invented blast furnace in 1709. The second Darby developed wrought iron from pig iron. Henry Cort invented pudding furnace to remove impurities from molten iron and rolling mill to make iron bars. John Wilkinson made the first iron chairs and iron pipes. In 1779, the third Darby built the first iron bridge. Cotton spinning and weaving. The earliest technological inventions took place in textile industry. Major inventories in textile industry. Flying shuttle, John Kay, 1733. Spinning Jenny, James Hargreaves, 1765. Mule, Samuel Crompton, 1779. Water Frame, Richard Arkwright, 1769. Power Loom, Edmund Cartwright, 1787. Theme 10. Displacing indigenous people. First question, the gold rush and growth of industries in America. In the 1840s, traces of gold were found in California in USA. This led to the gold rush. Thousands of Europeans hurried to America in the hope of making a quick fortune. This led to the building of railway lines across the continent. The manufacture of machinery also contributed to industrialization. With this, large-scale farming became easier. It also led to the growth of towns and factories. Theme 11. Path to modernization. China. Establishing the Republic. Manchu dynasty was overthrown and established a republic in China in 1911 under Sun Yat-sen. He is considered as the father of modern China. Three principles of Sun Yat-sen. The three principles of Sun Yat-sen were called San Min Chui. Nationalism. It means overthrowing Manchus and other foreigners from China. Min, democracy. It stood for establishing a republican form of government in China. Chui, socialism. It was aimed at regulating and equalizing land holding. May 4th movement. After the First World War, Paris Peace Conference was held in 1919. There was a Protestant movement rose in China against the proposals of Paris Peace Conference. In 1919, May 4, a Protestant movement began in China. This movement was known as in Chinese history as May 4th movement. The revolutionaries demanded use of simple language, abolish food binding. Third one, abolish female slavery, equality in marriage. Fifth one, economic development. Sun Yat-sen ideas based on the four great needs, that's clothing, food, housing and transportation. After Sun Yat-sen's death, Chiang Kai-shek became the leader of Kuomintang party. He started a military campaign against communists. Chinese Communist Party in 1921. The Chinese Communist Party was formed in 1921. The founder of CCP was Mao Zedong. Mao's programs were based on the peasantry. He believed that peasantry was the main revolutionary force in China. Mao and his followers camped in Zhengli Mountain, but Kuomintang forced attack communists. In 1934, the communists under Mao and his followers left from Jiangxi in Shanxi. They covered 6,000 miles at foot and finally reached at Yan'an. This movement came to be known as Long March. Meanwhile, a civil war broke out in China. The communists attacked Kuomintang. Finally, in 1949, Chiang Kai-shek was fled to island of Taiwan. On October 1st, 1949, People's Republic of China was established with Mao Zedong as chairman. Establishing the new democracy. People's Republic of China was based on principles of new democracy. Major areas of the economy were put under the control of government. Private ownership of land was ended. In 1948, Mao stated a new policy called the Great Leap Forward. It was a policy to industrialize the country rapidly. People were encouraged to set up steel furnaces in their backyards. These were not acceptable to all in the party. The steel produced in the furnaces was industrially unusable. The Great Cultural Revolution 1965. In 1965, Mao started the Great Cultural Revolution. It was a movement against old culture, old customs, and old habits. It gave more importance to ideology than having professional knowledge. Rational debate was replaced by slogans. The Red Guards were formed for campaigning the ideology of cultural revolution.